What's going on, my beat builders? It's a great day to be alive. Let me check in on you first. How is your beat building going? Are you making inroads with a music publishing library? Have you got in a library and now you're waiting on your first sync? Let me know in the comments. Starting off early, I want to know about you first before I drop these tips on you. Now, let's get to the reason for this video. Sometimes it is good to step out of your comfort zone and make quote unquote unconventional music. Now, when I mean unconventional, I'm meaning a style that you're not particularly familiar with. Most people watching this channel, you probably are getting into sync if you're not into sync already, and you probably make hip hop and stuff because that's normally the beats I make. So I'm assuming people who watch this channel do make hip hop and you come from that background. I started only making hip hop and R&B. That's all I was exposed to. That's all I really liked growing up. But when I got older, my general music taste just changed. And the fact that I teach group fitness classes, dance fitness, I use a variety of different music styles and genres because I just like all kind of different music. So I was recently checking my placements and I oddly enough got a new placement at the end of January. So this what made me think about not being scared to make different types of music, because I checked out which song was placed and I was like, oh, I forgot I even made that style because it's not something I generally make. Let me first show you the actual placement because it's a secondary lesson to showing you this placement. It just happened to work this way. So we can see right here highlighted in green, this was the newest placement I got at the end of January 31st, 2025. In this episode right here, RuPaul's Drag Race, Global Talent Extravaganza. I want to focus on showing you this one thing right here, expected air date. This is another thing that ties in with sync licensing and the importance of having patience. If we look at when this aired in 2024, right, the 8th month, 2024. But I only got notified of this in 2025 of January, right? So that's a little bit of delay. And now here comes the kicker. I checked back in my actual beats in my folder files, and the beat was made in 2022. So let's put that in perspective for you new people to sync. You might be in the library right now, but you're waiting on your first placement. I made this beat in 2022. I'm just now getting notified in 2025 that it got placed on a show. You see how that works? So you may have a placement that you don't even know you have yet, and it just takes time for it actually to get up to you. You've had your beat sitting in the library for so long, then it just get picked up. But then you don't get notified right away when it gets placed. In this case, right, I made the beat in 2022. It gets picked up in 2024, and then I don't get notified to 2025. That's a long time to not know what you got or your progress. So I know that can be a little bit frustrating. So I want to tell you, even I go through it too, and everybody else probably goes through the same exact thing. Even if you're not in ASCAP, if you're in BMI, it's probably the exact same thing. I just want to put it out there so that's one thing you know on your sync journey, that you just need to have patience. Now, let's get to the real reason why you need to start making unconventional music to help you boost your sync licensing placements. What you're looking at on the screen is the beat album that got me the placement that I just showed you on the RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, the name of the song was called Mars Dance Battle, but I'm not going to play that song first. I just want to talk over the fact that why it's so important to create theme albums and being unconventional in what you make. Now, usually, I said before, I usually make hip hop, R&B songs, but this, I was tasked with making an electro pop album. And even though the sounds are different, the same structures are still similar. And I just enjoy making different types of music. It just gets it out of the monotony of the same type of genre all the time. So let's listen to a couple of the tracks from this themed album so you can hear how different this stuff sounds. So even if you hear that, that sounds a little, that could be hip hop, but it's, that electro pop vibe. So it's the same styles. Nothing crazy. Let's check out the next track. This Cosmic Boogie. Now that could be hip hop too, right there. Let's check out another one. Now that's definitely some electro pop. Now, whether you judge these beats or saying that they're good or bad, whatever it is, again, the sound is in the listener and the supervisor, the editor who's picking these songs. Let's get to one I thought was very unique on this album that I really like. It definitely was different, and when I think of electro pop, I'm going for Britney Spears' Toxic. And that's what I was trying to make right here. Now that is straight electro pop, ain't it? See, it's different. You wouldn't necessarily think about doing something like this coming from a hip hop R&B background. But hey, it's more opportunities and times to get placements. So that's the last one. Now let's play the one that actually got placed from this album, this Mars Dance Battle. Now you notice the song starts right away with action. It gets your attention right away. And if you listen to it though, there's still those hip hop elements, right? The snares, the drum fills on the snares. It's just the sounds change. There's a little breakdown to change it up. Now this song is a longer idea. Longer. It's not a traditional way of A-B of how you make a song structure, chorus, verse, etc. So it's a little different. It changes all the time throughout the song. See, it's different. It's not traditional verse, chorus, verse like that. So I think that's very unique for this song, probably why this song got picked. And I just really like that electro pop vibe. Now you see, that was a album of 10 songs made for an electro pop album. So I wasn't afraid to take on that challenge when my music publisher asked me, hey, can you make an electro pop album? I said yes. Now, there are some limitations. If they would ask, hey, you want to make some rock music? No. I don't expand into that, even though there are some rock songs I like. I don't want to deal with that stuff. It's hard to get realistic guitar sounds and to make convincing sounding riffs and stuff using all just dolls. I'm not saying it can't be done, because it probably can be. It's just, for me, that's not what I go into. There was another type of style my publisher asked me to make, and I said, no, I'm not too good in that. So don't be afraid to expand, but you have to know to expand. So if you've made hip hop for a long time and you know you're good at hip hop, you may want to expand into different genres that are kind of a different step, but on the same level as making hip hop, right? Like I said, you listening to some of that electro pop I played for you, it's the same principles that apply. It still has, it might not be a real subby 808 kick, but it's still an 808 regardless, right? It's the same kind of leads that you would hear in trap music. It's just different in the pop music. It's the same kind of drum fills that you would hear in hip hop and they use it in pop too, because drum fills are used in so many different types of music to make transitions into different parts of the song. So I like expanding like this because it challenges me creatively and it helps me stay on my toes, and it's just fun. I just like making different types of music. But I'll suggest you look into options of making different types of music once you get good at your first core one. Because when I started my journey, I still was only making hip hop stuff. I didn't expand until I started making stuff like this electro pop. And then now one of my favorite genres to actually make is suspense and drama music. Stuff that you will hear in Law and Order, on the First 48, CSI, like that beats hip hop to me. Even though I still love hip hop, that drama music, I just love the emotions it evokes. I just love making that music. And that's the kind of music I actually listen to somewhat outside of when I'm making music. I barely listen to hip hop that much anymore, or R&B. I mostly listen to like now electronic music, artists like a Bonobo type artist, if you know who that is, or Thievery Corporation, who, if you know who they are. I like listening to that type of music. So I hope this video helps you see that you can expand and still find some success expanding into different genres of music. Because now, not only do I have hip hop placements, but I have hip hop, I have pop placements, and I have drama, suspension type placements. So that's 3 different genres that I'm in, that now I can make music and I can have a greater chance of getting more sync license success. That's not to say just because you focus on one specific genre that you can't have success, because you can, right? It's not like if we take Hans Zimmer, right? He does orchestral film music. Now, he's probably not going to make hip hop tracks, right? He's probably not going to do that, but he's very successful in orchestral music for films. So you can stick to one route and become that expert. But for me, since I'm just a lover of making music in general, I want to try to expand to different things to help me get more placements. So let me know in the comments what you're working on to expand your knowledge of music and help you get more placements this year in 2025. And if you need more tips and tricks on sync licensing, check out one of these videos.